Welcome back to Project Silverado. Today we have some Z badges. I've already taken one of them out of the package so you guys can see it. This should be a pretty quick and simple mod. This is just on some backing paper. Should be some 3M or some type of automotive adhesive that's on the back there. Basically it's peel and stick, measure it out, make sure you have it where you want it, and have it cleaned real good before you do all that. So we're going to show that install. Again, should be pretty quick and simple. This is a great upgrade if you have a Z model on your Chevy or your Silverado and you just don't like the sticker that's on the back, you want something a little bit nicer. So if you've been following along in the series, I don't have a Z from the factory. However, I put a lift kit on it, so I've got the aftermarket shocks. I also came with the skid plate underneath, although I think the Z has a few more of them. I don't have hill descent control, but again, with the lift kit, the bigger tires, and some of the other mods we've done to it, that's certainly a very good off-road worthy vehicle. And I think it's time to put some nice badging on it to make it, kind of complete the package. So I have additionally a grill badge that's on its way. It'll be on the back half of this video. So we're going to go ahead and get started. First thing you want to do is just take some soap and water, clean the area really well. Make sure there's no dirt or nothing that's on there. And then once you get that, don't forget to take an alcohol prep pad, and this stuff's really important, don't skip it. And clean it with the prep pad because the soap can leave a little bit of a film, and the purpose of this is to make sure that 3M automotive tape sticks really well and doesn't come off over a short amount of time. There are measurements out there of where the factory will put this. For example, the center of the Z on the passenger side will be 1 1/8 inches from the top here. On the driver's side, it's the center of the I believe the 1 or the 7, I forget what it is, will be 1.25 inches. You can go that far if you want. I've got 1 3/8 painter's tape that I just put on here, and all I'm going to do is line it up at the bottom of this. On the driver's side, I did about 1.5 inches, which again is a little bit bigger than what's recommended from separation between the door and the fender. And basically line it up so it's straight. I mean, you don't want this, you don't want that, obviously. You want it to be pretty straight. So I'm going to take the first part off without the 4x4, and you really only get one shot at this. Once it's on there, it's on there. If you have to take it off, guess what? It's probably not going to stick. You'll have to get new ones, or you have to get some new tape. So I've kind of got it measured up. I'm going to go just a fuzz inside 1.5 inches, just because that Z sticks out to a pretty high point. And I'm just going to line it up with the painter's tape here. And press it into place. Once you get that on there, take your cloth, something that's not harsh, and again press it into place. Just like that. Make sure you get the corners real good. Okay, so once we get this, polish there too. We need to do the 4x4, and the 4x4 is basically going to line up the end of the 4 with the end of the 1, and this cross section here with this cross section here. So what I've done is I've just kind of gotten a little bit of a scrap piece of wood as a straight edge, and I'm going to just peel this off of the backing paper. And just like I said before, you really only get one shot at this. So I have my straight edge ready. I just happen to have a piece of trim lying around along the 1. Got the 4 here, and it is a lot closer than what the how it was on the paper. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Get that on there, and just like before, guys, I'm sorry the sun's kind of in there a little bit. Getting later in the year, it's starting to get dark earlier. I'll move the camera here in a sec. But again, just kind of press that into place. And we'll just set that there. Let me get a little bit of a zoom on it. Okay, you can guys see again, cross section here is lined up, and this section here on the side is lined up. And once you get that all straight away, all you gotta do is remove your tape, and voila! Here's a shot of what the other side looks like. All squared up and ready to go. Now we got the two sides done, we'll look at the front. So we also have a Z badge for the front of the truck. This was a separate purchase from the ones I just put on the side, although there are some kits that will have the badge for the sides and the front all together. There was just some specifics that I wanted, so it ended up being separate. But anyway, this basically has a back with a couple of ports in it. Comes with a threaded rod with the washer and a couple of nuts on here so you can tighten it up. And this will basically go in one position or the other position depending on what kind of grill you have. In my case, it's going to be this position here. And it just threads in there like that, and I'm just going to take a pair of vice grips and probably tighten it up down here. Basically, the idea is this is going to be on the front part of the grill, and this plate will grapple somewhere on the back part of the grill. And I got the nuts on the wrong side, but basically it'll sit something like that, tightened to, again, this part on the front of the grill and this part on the back of the grill, and then the bolts will thread, or not the bolts, but the nuts will thread on the top there. I'll show you guys here in a sec how it works. Looks like it's going to be a pretty easy install, and we'll see what it looks like when it's done. In my case, I got a LT from the factory, so it's got a chrome chicken wire grill, and what I've done is I've put the unit together. I've got the thread here, I've got the washer and a couple of bolts here, and the back plate. And although I suppose you could probably set this and try to fish the components to the back, and it's not terrible. Or you could remove part of the plastic piece in front of the on top of the radiator to work on it from the top. I figured I could just fish it through something like this, and I think I've selected this piece here as a spot. If I went one lower or one over, that'd probably be okay too. And just by fishing it through and just sort of kind of lining it up, there we go. It'll look something like that when I'm done. It will stick out beyond the grill because of the size of the unit that I got. But taking your fingers and just kind of getting in there and start tightening up the bolts, or not the bolts, but the nuts, excuse me. Make sure I'm going the right way here. We'll get this tightened up, and then we'll have to find a way to get something to really get it tightened up. Here's what it looks like a little bit closer. You can see the top of the clip here and the bottom there. Again, it's kind of a universal kit because this could go on multiple different grills. I've got mine facing this way. I suppose depending on the grill, if you needed to, you could have it facing that way to grapple it, however you wanted to do it. I'm going to have to kind of keep an eye on this one because although it's tight, it's still a little loose. I'm worried about vibration over time. The only real way to fix that, if it becomes a problem, is to take the clips off and take this plastic piece off, and there's some 10mm bolts that run along the top here for the grill top, and I think the bottom. You may need to take this, in my case, this white piece off down here, remove the grill, and then properly tighten it. So that's something you may need to do if you get this piece, just so you guys know before you go and buy it what might be involved. So we're going to move on to the back. Alright, so once you got your front grill piece and your side pieces, if you want, and it's just that you do, you take off the stickers off the back, and that doesn't matter whether you got the Z or you've got the 4x4. In my case, the truck's got a couple years on it, so I can kind of fingernail it to get it started, as you can see here. And I could probably do the whole thing by, this method if I want. But once I get it started, I'm going to take a heat gun or your wife's blow dryer or whatever you got and apply it to kind of help remove the sticker. Okay, once you get all the 4x4 sticker taken off, you can kind of see there's a little bit of residue here that we can take off with. I'm not even sure if it's going to even need Goo Gone. You may be able to just take it off with some soap and water to get all that off, and then this project should be pretty much complete. Now, you don't have to do this step. You could leave the badge on the front and the sticker on the back if you really wanted to, but it might look a little weird, so it's up to you guys. I'm going to go ahead and do the other side, and that should pretty much conclude the project. Thanks for watching.